The train did not rush into the station. It slowed the way a tired animal does, metal wheels screaming softly as they ground against the rails. Dust lifted into the air, glowing gold under the late afternoon sun. Clara Bennett felt the change. Before anyone spoke, her spine stiffened. Her fingers tightened around the leather handle of her suitcase, worn smooth by years of use. The case was not heavy, but it felt like it carried the weight of every choice she had ever made. She had left behind a narrow life, a cold boarding house, a future built on other people's decisions. Now she was here, standing at the edge of something unknown. The conductor shouted the town's name. People stood, boots scraped, voices filled the air. Clara stayed seated. She had learned long before this journey that moving too quickly often invited trouble. That was when the shadow fell across her seat. A man blocked the aisle, his boot resting casually against the wooden bench, as if it belonged there. His coat was dusty, his face hard, his eyes sharp with a confidence that didn't ask permission. "Well now," he said slowly, lips curling, "a woman riding alone this far west. It's a brave choice." Clara didn't look up. "Please, move." The man laughed softly. "Name's Victor Hale, and I don't move for please." The train rocked gently. His knee pressed closer, too close. Clara's breath caught. Around them, other passengers stared straight ahead, suddenly fascinated by windows and luggage straps. "Mind your business," someone muttered, but no one intervened. Victor leaned closer. "Where you headed, sweetheart?" She swallowed. "That's not your concern, oh, but it is," he replied. "Out here, things tend to become a man's concern." She stood abruptly, trying to pass him. He shifted, blocking her path, his hand brushing her arm. "Not accidental." Never accidental. The whistle blew. The doors opened. Fresh air rushed in like mercy. Clara shoved past him with more strength than she felt and stepped onto the platform. Her boots hit the wood. Hard. She didn't look back. Across the platform stood a man who seemed untouched by the noise. He was taller than Victor, broader through the shoulders, but his presence was quiet, steady. He wore a worn coat and a hat pulled low, but his posture was straight, disciplined. When he saw her, he removed his hat. "That small act slowed her breathing, Miss Bennett?" he asked. She nodded. "I'm Samuel Carter," he said. "Thank you for coming." Victor stepped off the train. Behind her, his laughter sharp. "Well, I'll be," he said. "So this is the lucky rancher." Samuel didn't raise his voice. "You've said enough." Victor smirked. "Just making conversation." His eyes slid back to Clara. "Be careful, miss. Letters lie." Why, he walked away like he already knew something she'd. Samuel waited until Victor disappeared before speaking again. "Are you all right?" Clara nodded, though her hands were still trembling. "I am now." The ride to the ranch was quiet. The land stretched endlessly, rolling plains catching the sun like waves frozen in gold. Clara had never seen anything so wide, so open, so. Samuel said finally, "The letter said you wanted a fresh start." She nodded. "I want a place where I can breathe." He considered that. "This land'll let you breathe, but it won't be easy." "I'm not afraid of work." He glanced at her. "That's good. Fear doesn't last long here. Either it burns off, or it teaches you." The ranch house came into view just before sunset. Solid, simple, built with purpose. Inside, Samuel set her suitcase by the wall. "There's no obligation," he said. "If this place doesn't feel right, I'll take you back to town." Clara studied him. "You don't demand much." He shook his head. "Demand don't make people stay." That night, the air grew cool fast. Clara stepped outside. Watching the sky darken, she didn't see the loose board beneath her boot. She slipped. Samuel moved instinctively, grabbing her arm to stop her fall. His grip was too strong. They stumbled together, crashing against the fence. The sound of tearing cloth cut through the quiet. Clara froze. She pulled away sharply. "Don't." Samuel released her instantly, stepping back. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't mean I know," she replied, though her voice shook. But that night, sleep didn't come easily. She stared at the ceiling, thinking of hands, thinking of control, thinking of how thin the line was between protection and possession. Morning brought light, but not peace. Samuel waited on the porch with coffee. "I owe you an apology," he said. "And a promise?" She listened. "I won't touch you unless you say so. Ever." She met his eyes. They were steady. "Honest, I believe you," she said. The days settled into routine. Work, learning, quiet conversations. Samuel showed her the fences, the horses, the land that demanded respect. Then Victor came back. He rode in just before noon, smiling like he'd been invited. "Well, if it isn't my favorite neighbors," he said. Clara stepped back without thinking. Samuel stepped forward. "This isn't your place," he said. Victor shrugged. Borders blur. His gaze lingered on Clara. "You settling in?" Samuel positioned himself between them. "She's safe here." Victor's smile thinned. "Safe's a temporary thing." He rode off slow, dust lingering long after he was gone. That evening, Clara noticed hoofprints near the house. Samuel noticed too. The next days were tense. Samuel taught her how to use a rifle. "You don't aim to scare," he said. To stop. Her hands shook at first, then steadied. One night Samuel had to ride into town. "I'll be back before midnight." She nodded, fear settling in her chest. The night was too quiet, then came the knock, double quotes Clara. Victor's voice slurred. "Open up." Her heart slammed. "Go away." The door rattled. "You think that rancher can watch you forever?" The door burst open. Victor staggered inside. Clara raised the rifle. "Don't come closer," he laughed. "You won't shoot." The door slammed again. Samuel stood there, eyes dark. "Step away," he said. Victor turned. "This ain't your Samuel." Crossed the room and slammed him into the wall. "If you ever come near her again," he said quietly, "you won't walk away." Victor didn't test him. He left. The weeks that followed were quieter. Word spread. Victor stayed away. Clara learned the land, learned herself. One evening, Samuel handed her the repaired dress. "I fixed what I tore," he said. "Best I could." Stitches were uneven. Honest tears filled her eyes. That winter, Clara chose to stay. Not because she was afraid, but because she knew exactly who stood beside her.